Hello everyone and welcome to Friday. It is a good day because it's the weekend. But it's not just any weekend, it's Labor Day weekend. And that's an advantage, not for me because all my days are the same, but for Mal, because that means Mal has got Monday off. So she's got a 3-day weekend, which is really nice. Now one of the things I've been working on kind of off and on in my spare time whenever I'm waiting for stuff to go or whatever is getting prepared for D&D, because we're going to be starting to play D&D. Our first game is October 3rd. I may have told you guys that it was September, at the end of September, but we moved it back a week. It's actually going to be October 3rd. Everyone is really excited. Really excited. Like the general excitement levels on not only on my behalf but all of the players' behalves is very high. Everyone's very excited to start this. People have got their characters picked out. We've got the pawns for them. People have named their characters. So everything is going really well, and I'm really excited about how things are going. One of the things I wanted to do was incorporate some maps. I'm going to kind of do it half theater of the mind, half maps, because there's a few maps in the starter set campaign where they actually give you the maps, and they're like, hey, you should maybe consider using this map. So I kind of want to use those maps, and the guy who made the maps actually sells them online. You can get digital versions, and in the book they're overlaid with little points of interest, so you can be like, oh, this is happening in this room and this is happening here, there's these enemies here, etc. But you can get the player versions online, and I think they're like $1.50 or something. So I bought some of the maps, and I wanted to display them, so we can actually use them. And I was trying to figure out exactly what the best way of doing this would be, and I went through many ideas. I even considered doing Roll20.net, where we could put it up on the TV and then I would just control everyone. But I really wanted to do this, not particularly right, but really wanted to do this very hands-on. I don't want people using their phones to keep track of their stat sheet. I don't want people using their tablets. I want people using, pencil and paper. I want people to roll actual dice. They don't need to be using an app that's like, oh, I got this. I want it to be very hands-on. So I want people to actually be able to move stuff around the board. Then I found someone on Reddit that had done the same adventure, and they had printed out pieces of paper large enough that it was on foam core. And they basically blew the map up to actual size and used it that way. And I was like, that's great. That's really great. So that's what I did. I went out today and I bought some cardstock. And I actually bought cardstock for something else, and then I ended up deciding to use that for the map. And this was kind of a process, but the map that I got, I'll show you some pieces of it down here. So this is a portion of that map, right? Now the squares need to be 1-inch square, because that is the size for pawns and minis. Now in the actual file that I got, it was they were basically half as big as they needed to be. So I used Photoshop to make it bigger, to make it the right size. And then there's a program called Posterizer that I got that allows you to basically tell it how big you want it, and it will cut it up into certain numbers of pages. So basically it'll take a big image, and it says, oh, you want to print this on normal sheets of paper, and it makes you a PDF that puts it into those many sheets of paper. So you can print large images. We used to do this in college. There's an online tool called Rasterbator, but when I looked at it to try and do this, it didn't give me as much flexibility as I would like, so I got Posterizer instead. Posterizer was free, by the way, so if you want to check it out, you can. So I got them all printed out. It was 12 sheets on this slightly harder cardstock, and it looks really nice. And this is 1 inch, so it's to scale. And what we're going to do now is I've got this poster board, which is 22 by 28, and I had this printed at that exact size, so it's going to be exactly 22 by 28. Now I've got some spray adhesive, and we're going to go spray this and actually make this map come to life. And it's just really cool, because it was just kind of an illustration on a page, and now it's going to be something that everyone can actually play with, and I just think it's really cool. Nice. That looks good. That was just, you know, a little illustration in the book, and now it's a map that you can actually play on. Good job, Mal.
Thanks.
So here's the completed map, and there's a mini on there for scale that's with a 1-inch base, so it's designed to fit in here, and it looks good. It looks really good, and there are, I think, there's 3 maps that are provided that are pretty much, I think they're all identically sized that we can put on these poster boards and make like this. Then there's 2 other maps that 1 square is equal to 10 feet. I'm not really sure how we'll do that. Maybe we'll just print them the same size instead of doubling them, because I was
trying to remember that it's that big.
Yeah, but I mean, it's at the top of the map. It's like, hey, remember that this is, you know, this size. So maybe they'll be fine. I have no idea, but I'm excited. I can't wait to post a picture of this to the group. Technically, no one's supposed to know the layout of the map, but
don't post a picture of the group.
I know, but I want them to see how excited I am. They won't have to see the other maps. They can see this map. It'll be fine. Maybe someone will give you, like in the game, they'll give you a copy of the map, so that'll explain why you can see all the rooms. Maybe that'll make sense. Anyway, that's it for today. We've got a very work-filled weekend ahead of us because we've got a lot of stuff to do. I'm starting to get vlogs caught up. But I thought it'd be really interesting to do this, and I think it came out really good. And I'm excited, and we're going to be doing a few other ones of these, and I think D&D's going to come out really good. Yeah.
Did you explain that?
What is this?
That's all the pieces I cut off.
Why are they...
I taped them to the piece of the...
Oh, I was like, you made some sort of weird design. That was odd. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. The rest of today is going to be pretty work-filled, as will this weekend, because we're trying to get back in the swing of things to get things done. But perhaps I inspired you to bring a D&D map to life yourself, because this was fun, and I think it's going to add a lot to the game whenever we play next month. If you have any questions regarding the process, feel free to ask them below. Pretty sure that I went over it pretty well, but just in case, I got the digital files from the artist's website. I guess if you wanted to, you could also scan the campaign book and do it that way. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more low resolution, but you could do that way if you wanted. And then I had to blow it up to the right size. There's a tool under the window menu in Photoshop called Info. And what it'll let you do is if you use the marquee tool and you select a certain spot, it'll tell you how many inches it is. So what I did is I did that on one of the squares, one of the grids, and it told me how big it was. And then I just did some math to figure out how much bigger I needed to make it so it would be 1 inch. And then I blew it up to that size. Once I went out today and got the poster board, they didn't have the poster board in exactly the size I needed. It wasn't wide enough. But that was okay because I just cut off the sides of the map. Because on the actual map, on the digital file, there was like some, I don't know, decoration type stuff on the sides, but I just cut it off because it wasn't particularly necessary. So yeah, I did that, and then I used the post eraser to put it into particular spots, printed it on cardstock, and then we applied it with spray adhesive. So it was a bit of a process, but it really wasn't that time consuming, and it was a lot of fun, and it was nice to see it all complete. So maybe when we do the other ones, I'll show you guys those as well. That's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? My ring is not curved whatsoever. Like on the edges there, it is flat. Whenever I had the ring made, I wanted it to be as close to like a pipe as possible. They're a lot easier when they're coming down this way. I'd rather just shoot down in here. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. The next wave is on its way. Oh my god.